So what's amazing about you wewe kama designer? Sasa nina kubamba about designers walikuwa wamekama hapo na hiyo.
Before uendelee to me as a designer, just let me shukuru penye KDK imefika. Look at the screen.
Wasi hiyo age, if kuna wasi hiyo age unasikiza hiyo content, mean yenyewe ni content. The content ni legit na ni content kali.
Kuna kitu mimi amaze.
We were streamed in 5 countries.
Umeona the last screen yenye imetoka pale. The audience is from
Haiti. Hi, welcome to Kenyan Design Conversations. And oh my god, thank you so much. Amnipigia makofi. Anyway, see me mnapigia makofi ni fans. So I'm your host Kenyan Design Conversations, and today I am joined with 3 amazing men. My co-host first,
Mariga, who is here, and I have 2 friends. Engineer.
So my name is Engineer James Muchiri.
Hey engineers, sasa lazima uweke tu title hapo mbele.
Lazima.
Hi guys, this is Evans here.
Naitonga Evans. Cheki hebu character Evans. Character Evans ni gani? Ni sawa.
Sasa mimi nitajua
wapi? Utatuambia kwa comment section.
Watasikiza. Si umeshasikia sauti, watasikiza watatuambia. Make sure wamesikiza venye sauti yake venye amesema jina, watacomment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to us. I've been very humbled today. I've been receiving screenshots of people's top podcasts, Spotify Wrapped, right? I actually discovered Spotify Wrapped for creators. Oh my god. Ona, si you share screen, you take us through the experience. Lakini utakuwa amazed venye mtu anafaa kuwa amazed.
Probably yes, probably not. But mekuwa fit, it's a good feature.
It's the fact that I've known.
You have known what?
A lot of stuff. Let's view with the team. Ndio hiyo tu hapo.
So what's amazing about you wewe kama designer? Sasa nina kubamba about designers walikuwa wamekama hapo na hiyo.
Before uendelee to me as a designer, just let me shukuru penye KDK imefika. Look at the screen. Let's go. Thank you for loving our show in 2024. Yay, give it up for our new fans. 60, you see? And 79% of you are very new listeners. Asanteni sana kwa to support na kutuamini. Na niaje mnapenda hii episode vile tunaingia 2024 na Audacity. Okay, that's interesting. 46%. Wow.
46 ni wengi. That's a good one.
Ever wondered who? Yes, we do wonder. So let's break it down. Our biggest age group is 25 to 29. I think we know who.
So inamaanisha in age group ya wanasaka job vizuri.
Yeah, basic yes.
Job seekers. Wanaingia kwa job market.
Yes. Right? So most of them when wako hapa, they are newbies. So they need to know like na wapate knowledge ya design. Sawa, nice one.
Lakini unajua tuna assume.
Watu wanaendelea kutamak. Lakini yani bama ni despite the high percentage being the newbies and also kwa hiyo group yetu, mimi nadibambika na kuna hapa 55 plus.
Imagine 55.
Kuna 1%. So kuna wasee ija wazazi wetu that they believe in KDK.
Mzazi umeenda sana, labda brother mkubwa.
55
mzazi.
Babangu hajafika 55.
My mama hajafika 55. So it's ni group ya wazazi. Umesikia ni 55 and plus.
Na venye mimi ni mdogo wenu. My mom and dad are both past 55.
Yes, my dad is, but my mom is not. Lakini unajua haja specify.
Difference ni moja. Wewe ni first born ama last born ama uko hapo katikati?
Ni sawa. Proof point yako tu next.
But it's so good that wasi wako hiyo age bado wanabambika na hiyo content. Wasi hiyo age, if kuna wasi hiyo age unasikiza hiyo content, it's mean yenyewe ni content. The content ni legit na ni content kali.
Sasa kuna hiki tu many amaze.
We were streamed in 5 countries. Nini imekuwa amaze?
Hiyo animation kwanza. Look at it.
Medwa, the parallax effect. It's a trend. And while I thought it was new, juzi tulikuwa tunaongea na team yangu. So my team has like 3 designers. Okay. Our illustrator has been a designer like for the longest time. He's even worked with Juakali on some design and sound and all. And then there's our developer who was once a designer as well. They were talking about how parallax, which I see has been used here, is a very old trend. I was shocked.
But imagine something funny, talking from a developer perspective. There's a whole library
dedicated for this.
It's called anime JS. I does this thing very simple.
I would say imagine for designers how they hustle to achieve this. Na nyinyi mko mpaka libraries.
Marigo, umeona the last screen yenye imetoka pale. The oldest is from
Haiti.
Imagine it was the oldest, the one with 55 years plus.
55 years from Haiti.
Yes.
And right now Haiti tunajua na vita zinaendelea.
Yani kuna mtu anatusikiza despite
government ya Kenya kutuma say.
Huyu hata anaweza
kumsiana bado anasikiza from Haiti.
Si ndio? Lakini yeye ni old kwa nini? Ama yeye ni major general? Tuendelee. Your fans have great taste. This is basically what you guys listen to.
Sasa nimenotice kuna watu wa Gengeton kwanza.
Before ufike Gengeton, tuongelee. How are people listening to the 97s? Though I do listen to the 97s.
I'm the biggest fan.
I'm a fan.
Listen, you always do.
Okay, yes. You're a fan. Do you listen to the 3 Men Army?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
The
3 Men Army?
The 3 Men Army.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, I was the 97s podcast.
Wow.
Podcast with no name.
I've never heard about the podcast.
I was introduced to the podcast with no name it's a very interesting podcast, comedy sana, by Msanga. And the mics are open. I'm a fan of mics are open. So this is love as well. I also know a couple of our fans who listen to So This Is Love.
I've never listened.
Of course you can't know about that. Me hata sikulaumu hata wewe. Yes, wewe.
Mics are open.
Mics are open ilikuwa na mic check podcast.
I love the mic check podcast.
You both love the mic check podcast.
For me, I was introduced to the mic check podcast. My neighbor is a producer. He's a producer of mic check podcast.
No way. That guy wa Ikonini.
Yeah, the guy of Ikonini.
And then he produces mic check. Mbona uja to introduce? Mbona Tuende next music.
I will.
Afrobeats, of course. Watu wangu tuko hapo.
How comes you are the founder but Gengeton is number 3?
What do you mean? Kwani I'm the one who produced Gengeton.
You are the best fan of Gengeton.
In our circle,
you are the best fan of Gengeton.
Kwani am I the only KDK listener?
You are the biggest fan.
I am okay. Abanton, yes. Gengeton, not so much.
Okay.
So that's not me, honestly.
Lakini ile siku tumepatana unatokeanga Gengeton.
No, ni kama amjui difference.
Hebu tueleze.
Ya Abanton na Gengeton.
So what's the difference?
Asimko na Spotify and then tu mtafute playlist ya Gengeton.
Post.
Lakini
post. Shout out. I want that voice. Shout out.
Watu wataumia masikio lakini wamenisikia. Thank you so much for showing up for us, Mazi. Hebu tumalize alafu niwaambie venye almost gave up on KDK. Lakini msisikie uchungu, I didn't give up. Imagine we are a top 10 for how many people? 122 people. Akitumie bro, guy. Your top 5 show. And then for top 5 ni 94 people. And then number 1. 40 people.
Amini kwa mmoja wao.
Yes, asante sana kwa kutuwakilisha. Mimi nilikuwa top 5 though, imagine. What kind of creator? We are the explorer. I don't know what that means, but it's up.
We get ideas from
Kind of Kristari.
ona venye wa publishing frequency kwa
But it is an
kidogo.
algorithm. I can't remember. I learned this in campus. I can't remember that algorithm, what it's called. Yes, but
that does that. That's an algorithm,
We're
but
done.
you can do it.
Your fans have entered. They did enter the conversation. They loved this particular poll.
you are rated 5
Imagine.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
to the fans.
Yeah. I hope they'll get to see this presentation. They deserve to see this. Thank you for giving people something to talk about. No, they actually gave me something to talk about. A round of applause, guys. Cheki. No. Wewe kama producer jamani. Uko na sound effects.
A sound effect.
Na sitakuwa
Lakini mimi niko
nakumbusha
swali.
kile episode.
Umesoma hiyo?
Gani yo?
The last nini kuna sema?
Ilikuwa
You're not over
inasema.
yet.
Of course it's not. It's just been a year, man.
It's just the start.
Yeah.
We are coming to the as the topic of the podcast is it's Spotify Wrapped, and we are coming to the wrap of this year. So if I can ask you,
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ask
so
me.
if I can ask you,
Yes.
as we come into the wrap of this year,
Yes.
and in less than today is date 6. So in less than 25 days, we'll be entering a new year. So you as the
Founder.
founder of KDK, as you enter 2026, what do you
2025,
Oh,
bro.
2025.
Bro, you are in 2026. Come on, hold.
Things are moving fast here.
Come on, bro.
getting hotter?
Engineer. Kwa
getting-
ushamaliza kuplan 2025 umefika.
Tushapiga hesabu.
Give us your ways.
Master.
Ashaanza kuchora.
Ni sawa
Yeah,
engineer.
it's getting hotter. So as you enter 2025,
Yes.
you as the founder of KDK,
Yes.
so us as the fans, as the participators of KDK, what do you expect?
What do I expect?
No,
Ah,
what do we expect as
Sawa.
the listeners?
Sawa.
What do you expect?
Me can start. Me as a host, I can say kitu ya kwanza, I expect a lot of banters, a lot of fun, a lot of learning, because you are going to bring. Kwanza, before that, engineer, you know, like next 2025 we want to bring like developers. We want to bring that unaonanga hile hatred inakuanga between developer na designer. We want to bring that banter in 2025.
I'm here.
Yes, kama hile chuki inakuanga between developer na security.
I smell war.
It's supposed to be a good war. Yes, that's what we're bringing in 2025. But before we get to 2025, we are planning to have just a little party about KDK, just to celebrate 1 year.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes, and to our new fans.
But I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, you've said that you wanna venture into this war of designers and developers, but if you know well, and the way I know you, you are a designer. You are in the designer front end part, and at least for you, you're in the both sides of the game.
Yes.
When you're in game here, you're in
I'm in the development
team,
design.
and the design team.
Yes.
For me, I'm in the backend team. But
Yes.
a question I can ask is,
But don't forget, right now I'm in the back end.
right now you're in the
I've left
backend,
front end.
I've
I've
left
left
front end,
design.
doing the backend. But
Yes.
right now, the question I can ask is, are you ready to venture in? No, to explore in the fight between the designers and developers, because it's a big fight.
Let me tell you, the difference is one. You see, 2025, the beginning of 2025, I'll be like a backend developer. So being a backend developer, I won't be talking about designing. I'll be talking about backend development. So hapo ndo nataka hiyo vita. Unaona hiyo hasira hiyo asira inataka nilete 2025. It's gonna be once.
No, welcome to the backend. The backend is sweet, and the problem with backend is one, the sleepless nights because of a bug. You get that you have one bug getting null expansion error, but you don't know how to fix it. You don't know where to start. But that's the better part. Yeah,
that's the better part. But at the end of the day, you get to find you see like Chantel, she's a product designer. She thinks about end user. No, end user is who? Evans wants to, like every month Evans wants to know like ametransact pesa ngapi. No, the logical part haimuhusu. No, because it's the product yenye yanataka kujua like alituma 10 bob kwa mama mboga, alituma 20 bob kwa maybe akanunua kitu fulani, akapitia kwa petrol station, anataka kujua kila siku. You see like Spotify Wrapped has made us realize like we had even one fan from Haiti who is 55 years old. Unaona, that's what Evans wants to know. But kidogo tu, like hiyo ni kazi ya nani? It's your work, you as a backend developer, you get. But who has to identify that is a product designer. Yes. Yeah. And that's where the work comes in. But imagine coming up with the logic and algorithm, like you to analyze who, as in those all that statistics. Hapo unanipigonga sticky, si ndio? And that's why tunataka ku have hiyo tension ya designer and developer. You get the difference is one. Her as a product designer, she wants us to analyze a user in the whole year. Imagine how many statements, probably SQL statements, will write as a backend developer. You get how many algorithm. You get the difference. Yeah. So hiyo ndio asira nataka kupeleka 2025.
Lakini
acha before lakini me actually agree with you. Leo nimekalishwa chini naambiwa wewe ni product designer. Fanya kazi yako. Well, in a good way, of course. So we are shipping an app in a launch in 4 days. Senior. Tulipeleka application Play Store, so they have to check it before kubali. Hiyo tunajua. Now ikarudi na kuna vitu amfanyi right. You see. Na sasa jumini as a designer in my head nafikirianga tu asia wanajua kazi yao. Except if I would have looked closely ninge notice hakuna. So they flagged us a lot for accessibility. And including whatever they flagged was things like vitu screen readers haziwezi soma and how we can improve. That's a front-end developer's work. However, it's a product designer's job to make sure eco. You get, even though nilienda up nimeambiwa you're a product designer, do you work?
Yeah, but kwa hiyo vita ya a designer front-end na developer, the problem is one, and for me I love it that umeamua in 2025 utaanza kuleta podcast yenye tunaongelelea kuhusu to solve hiyo vita ya the backend developers and the front developers, because the reason is one, and like for you Elvis tunabonga nawe leo tukibonga that the problem between the front end developers and the backend developers is one. The backend developer for us we think logically. So for me nafikirianga ile ya ni present data kwa front end, sio ni hiyo data inenaje kwa backend na haisumbui system. So performance, so nafikiria logically, performance wise, space wise, tunamalizie space wise na hizo vitu zote. Lakini for the front developer na yeye for front developer ama for designer, yeye anafikiria in the layman language. Yeye anafikiria yeye kika button place, yeye anafikiria mtu kama Evans hayuko in the tech industry, akiingia kwa hii website hii button ataionaje? So if unataka kusolve vita, that's how it is. Ya ile ya designer anafikiria vitu zake, anafikiria sasa sema vitu zake, but anafikiria
ongeza hasira
ni kweli designer anafikiria man, back end developer anafikiria logically. And it's the problem that designer can make a design, like designer anaweza kuwekea design yenyewe unafaa weke butterfly ikifly hivi kwa website.
Let's talk about that. You guys keep repeating that so much. Your systems are effed up. Now, sawa. My design process, or at least our design process. Ndio kitu yende development, inafaa kila mtu ameweka sahihi, including the developers. Mbona uache nimeka kitu ina fly na usiongee akiwale uta design venye iko?
No.
That's why we have that meeting. So, like, sawa, nimefanya kila kitu mpaka nime design, right? Nimeletea. In fact, kuna wengine hufanya at the sketching, the lo-fi, the wireframe, my boxes to my rectangles. Wanaambia this is for this. Because sasa nimeshaona layout. Now, hiyo ni ku make sure as much as umedesign kitu usable. Umedesign kitu developers wanaweza develop. Na lakini like ni possible, you see. And the instances mimi nimeambiwa you're building castles in the air, you get. Yeah. And so we like, okay, sawa. So if this is not possible, there's always another way to do it. So if this is not possible, how else can I? Sasa hapo ndo nasema designer amekule, hapo ndo sasa anaongelea hiyo vita lazima itakuwa.
But the problem is one.
Lakini ndo ifike ati mpaka umeicode ama umefikia.
But the problem is one. Often there's in offices that the designer team and office that mnataka unapata ile office, the office that mnataka kushindana ni office ni department gani inafanya kazi vizuri. So designer ametengeneza design before kuja kuuliza developer, can you develop this thing? Ashapelekea the procurement team, ameonesha ama the guys who call the shots, ashapelekea design.
But so yeah. Guys who call the shots.
Yeah, the guys who call the shots.
So in the end, what I'm listening to, like where Chantel works, environment where she works, it's eco-friendly where, you know, like you meet the developer, you meet the stakeholders, you meet the vendors, you meet, you know, like even the investors and the developers. So like you discuss as a whole. So if it is affecting everyone, you have to discuss like how is affecting me and how can we solve it.
Yeah.
But where you work, it's different. Where you work is a problem comes, designer does his work, the designer manages his work, he finishes, he brings the developer, and the developer does everything to production.
That's true.
So it means like probably something has to change somewhere.
Yeah,
yes. But at the wrong line.
But because for us, one thing is because for us, where I work, I'm given signed user requirements.
Yes.
And for a developer is never part of developing the requirements. You are given signed requirements. So you're given a requirement that develop these things and according to the requirements. And the QA team will test what you develop according to the requirements shared.
Sorry to disturb you, but let me tell you, do you have a designer in your team?
No.
Let's just start from there.
Yes. So you have a missing point. Don't worry. Yes.
It's not your fault.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's not our fault. But
anyway. Imagine this one thing. We talked about our technical part and everything. You know, Evans is here. Evans doesn't know design, doesn't know development,
but you can
knows a lot of things, lot of other things,
especially dealing with us. Yes.
In fact, the few minutes you've been here, you've been able to tell the kind of people we are, right? Like summer psychology. Tell us more.
Tell us. Just tell us.
Judging from what I've heard,
Yes.
so you want me to tell you your characters?
No, but for
Personally,
first,
yes.
but for first, you can first by telling us
Like,
ukianza ulianza
like,
kutuambia jina, lakini hakuna place hujatuambia what you do.
Okay, I'm not in the tech industry.
Yeah.
Yes, that is why I'm kind of feeling left out.
Ebu don't before hata malize kujiintroduce, before you start feeling left
Not
out.
entirely.
I know. Eskiza. Umetusikiza. You might not understand the big terms you're throwing,
Exactly.
but you understand the problems you're having.
Sure.
Ungetuambiaje? Anzia tu hapo and then we can introduce. Tuanze.
Once, the first thing, there's always a solution to everything. And you guys being the gurus in your areas, I think IT is a field such that you just know what is required. You just know what you want. You just know what you want to design. Just know what you want to model or whatever those terms are. So, okay, now I can go to that point of introducing myself. I've been quiet for most of the session. Yeah, as you guys have
Different terminologies that you don't even relate.
These Evans, practically, the HR profession or rather industry. Basically, when you hear about HR, you just know of hiring and firing.
Yes.
But the HR has transformed from the traditional HR way of handling things to the strategic, strategic or rather the modern way of handling things.
But the problem is one, unafikanga hivi ofisi, umpeni your email, unapata kuna email ya HR, come to the office. And you start shivering.
That is a traditional feature. The HR that we are currently having is just to ensure that employees and the HR are at the same level. There is a common ground where both can interact. Nowadays, actually, one of the strategies that we have deployed in the company that I'm working for, HR doesn't have a strategic sitting position. There's no strategic position like that floor. It's the HR that is located there. You can just sit in any of the floors with any of the teams. Okay. You just can't have your own personal space. Like this floor with A, that is HR sitting there. There's no strategic position for HR sitting. You just have to go work together with the IT team. Go let them know that you want a desk somewhere. The next day you're in the procurement team. The next day you are in the facilities team. The next day you are somewhere else. Just to create that common ground. So common ground, and that's HR visibility.
So for me to ask, so I wanna say, for you don't have your common desk.
I don't have a desk.
I
don't have a locker.
You know, it's where you want to sit.
Yes, anywhere. Today if I come, I feel today I want to sit in the on 10th floor. Yes. Tomorrow I want to sit on 2nd floor.
Wait, you decide yourself?
Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Imagine something funny.
But you just have to sit with the people.
Something funny.
But
that creates
I
a
like
common
that idea.
ground.
Reason
Is
being,
that HR visibility, that fear of HR. The fear comes from the traditional way of dealing with things as a HR practitioner. So nowadays you just try to connect with people. You learn the people's language. You learn how the people work around. You learn what they do, the needs they are there that we are facing. You just don't come someday and say, mbona ukufanya hivi? No, you are supposed to do this. But when you're in that space that they are in, you're able to understand that this is how they do things. This is how things are done. So uko pale tunasema pana we kuja hapa. Ulichelewa kazi nini and everything. You know, at some point you guys as IT people, I understand sometimes the working hours might zinaweza kuwa tofauti because of the client needs. So I can't come today give you a show course and tell you arrived at work at 12, whereas perhaps your contract says at 8 or 9. Because maybe jana nikitoka job, I left you there was a client complaining or something, and you might perhaps have left the work at 12. midnight. So like I understand what you guys do. So in case of any complaints, in case of anything, I understand. I'm in that ground. HR wanaonekana ni wale wako mafutani. There are guys who make the rules. There are guys who just sit in the office doing nothing. But what happens, and like in the modern HR, it's not about firing and hiring and such sort of things. Unajua, actually, I was sitting in some floor somewhere with a certain team, and that day I had a lot of work. So niliingia mapema. They all found me there. I was actually the first person there because the team was arriving at around 8-9. I was there at 7, around 7:10. Walikuwa hapo na almost wote waliniacha hapo. So they were like, Evans, what are you doing? Like nini inakufanya busy kuliko sisi? Unaona, unajua HR wananga kazi. Now when you now start explaining to them that HR now is evolving, HR is now at this point kuko hivi na hivi na hivi, now they start having the deeper meaning of HR. You create a common ground, like you guys can interact. Kitambo ilikuwa, actually if you work in an organization where you feel your HR, just know you're in the traditional way of living. Say HR na watu wako hivi. Actually, in my KPIs, one of the things is HR visibility, being on the ground.
Bupos, kwanza mongelea KPIs, just tell us what that is. Alafu.
Oh, it's a key performance indicator.
We don't even know what that means.
What is the key performance indicator?
How are you guys being appraised if you don't have KPIs?
You see our listeners.
Our listeners are newbies.
Okay, let me
imagine.
See water lucky.
Most I know most can relate.
Like right now, there's a university student listening.
By the way, he's right.
So what a KPI is?
Ungeza na what an appraisal is.
Okay,
what?
Let me tell you this.
Kumbe hata sikuwa nimesikia.
Let me tell you this. When you get employed, there's that contract you sign, and there's a JD. Now the JD outlines what you have to do or what your duties are. Job description. What your job entails. What you are supposed to do. What you are supposed to do in there. Like, why are you being hired? What are you being hired to do? So that JD job description outlines why you are there, why you are hired. Evans, you are hired to do 1, 2, 3.
I love to read my contract. I have to reread my contract.
Now, what happens?
I mean it. But you are according to your contract.
But I have to reread
every month.
It depends.
Every end month,
business changes.
you have to say, Robinson comes and asks you a question.
Yeah.
How many stars have you made?
Take it.
Okay, so
yes.
Where was I?
KPIs.
KPIs. Now what happens? Okay, when for newbies, when you are employed, the first 6 months are the probationary period. But when you are done with the 6 months, okay, within the 6 months, there are things we call probationary KPIs. There are some things you have to achieve in your first 6 months. You want to be measured within month 1. You want to be measured within month 2. You are still new in the organization. You are still learning how they do things, the culture, the structure, and everything. Month 3, but within month 6, you'll be tested, like, what have you done? How have you achieved? How have you assisted the organization move to the next level? How have you hit your targets? Basically, KPIs are targets. You set them before, perhaps before the beginning of a quarter, if you are measured quarterly, if you are measured semi-annually, and annually. Now it depends. You say that
questions. Wow.
Just a moment, let me finish. So now it depends now with the agreement, or rather how the organization works. If you are measured quarterly, in the beginning of a quarter, you set these goals.
Yeah.
You and your team leader.
And not or and. Yeah. Yeah.
You and your team leader.
Yes.
You and your team
Yes,
leader.
you and your team leader.
Keep going.
And you both sign off. So now when it comes, now those are your KPIs. Now when it comes to the end of the quarter, what I'm calling the appraisal is now when you and your team leader sit down, take out the documents that you both signed, and you just try to look what you have achieved against what was set. Now that is where you get your score. Either you are performing, you are highly performing, you are performing averagely, or you are underperforming. If perhaps you have hit around 30% of your KPIs, that automatically means you are underperforming.
30%. Oh yeah.
That means, the KPIs are well stipulated. If you hit 30%, inamaanisha uko chini. And that is where unaanza kuchukia HR juu at that point utapewa performance notification. In the next quarter, if you fail again, pata shokos unapata warning, and the process continues until termination of employment.
But I have a question.
She was fast. She says
I have a lot of questions. Where? Nipewa microphone.
Mic ni yako. The mic is yours. Chantel.
Kwanza alianza na JD nikajiuliza. So wase wanatuandika kuna JD mpaka nikahave kwa apologize ya wase. Mimi hata sikuangalia. Una venye napatanga kitu kwa community mimi narusha KDK hivyo. Napata kitu community. So wameka JD ya intern. I didn't even look at it. But I think someone did look at it and noticed. Na mimi nilikuwa nishasukuma. So I'm like, kwani JD nakaaje? So I just had to apologize. Juko na alikuwa na complain vibaya sana. It's the first time as well. Unakumbuka hiyo screenshot ya msee ametengeneza sijui language gani na kuna kampuni inatafuta unakumbuka hiyo screenshot? Like kuna JD zingine has make sense. That was the first thing. Second thing is
does it make sense?
Wallahi.
Bro, acha nikwambie hoja. Trust you me.
Relax guys. Let me learn.
Sawa, ni sawa.
Aya, sawa. Second question. Ilikuwa JD, ilikuwa KPIs. Now, umamila KPIs na nikakumbuka. That's very important. So today someone actually explained to me that ukiwa hired as a contractor, whoever is hiring you expect to come as a full package. Unafaa kuwa na hizo ethics za HR. Unafaa kuwa business mindset, unafaa kuwa skilled in what you're doing. So you have to be like 100% complete. You see?
Sure.
And I know some contractors. And that's why I think Michael Kitikai, who is in our like third episode, akitufunza story ya kutengeneza do na freelancing. Alikataa kuita freelancing. He said contracting. Freelancing is more free, unaona. Sababu niambie ukisikia tu hii. I want to hire freelancer. I want to hire a contractor. Like a contractor is like more. And then you talked about KPIs. Kwanza nataka tukwambia watu, if you do not have a manager too, or if you're working as a contractor, jamani, jieke KPIs zako. Sindio, ulikuwa unajaribu kuniambia.
Make sure
structures ni different.
At the very beginning of like the job you've been given. Make sure like you and perhaps the person who is contracting you have well set targets. This is what to achieve. Maybe if you're being contracted, maybe for a certain period, just have all those details in writing. Like tumekuhaya ufanye hii na hii na hii. Have them listed, and such should be at least realistic. Zinafaa kuwa vitu doable, achievable. That is how you set them. So that when it comes to the appraisal, unajua kuna watu appraisal mnaweza kwa maybe
I don't know what appraisal is.
Appraisal is
unaona at the very end.
I will forget the third question. Mimi nataka uzishike.
Appraisal is
ngoja. Third question was now that sasa unasema HR na wasi ni kaki bro hivi, unaona mko na vibe ya beshti. Doesn't that bring biasness?
Why? What happens if I'm just
so utaanzia hivyo, wacha nikukumbushe. So, biasness, alafu appraisal, alafu ni KPIs. And then
so
ya kwanza relax.
At least utanikumbushe as we go on, because I've
nataka tukumbuke wote. Ya kwanza
biasness, KPI, appraisal,
JD zenu bana.
JD. Haya, tuanze na biasness. One of the main things why I'm telling you HR inafaa kuingiana na wasi it's just to create that visibility and creating a common ground. If you look at many companies nowadays, they are hiring people. They are called the Gen Z. You guys are also Gen Zs. They don't know how to work under pressure, but they work.
Yes.
Wakiamua job. Mazee job wanatenda kazi.
We deliver.
If you want to deliver, you guys do deliver. The reason why I'm telling you itatua biasness, the moment you continue interacting with people, HR, there's a code of conduct and policies and procedures they operate within. Haiwezi leta biasness because there's a policy in place. For example, if you come late or if you abscond duty, policy sio mimi nimeandika, sio mimi nimeandika na siji mimi nimesign. Policy inasema you are supposed to come to work or rather unafaa kuwa job throughout as your contract says. Na wewe mwenyewe kwa contract yako ukasign ukasema atakuwa nakuja, for example takuwa nakuja job hadi Saturday. Hiyo Saturday unasema mimi sitaki kuja job. I can give you an example. I've once handled a case religion based ya watu hawafai kwenda job Saturday. Watu hawafai kwenda job Saturday. But yeye akisign contract alisema I can
atakuwa nakuja.
Even if you create a common ground with that person, that person amekataa, amesema my religion doesn't allow me to come to work on Saturdays. Unamtolea contract. And that is the best thing with nowadays, that strategic HR. Everything you ensure. Sisi kuja ni kuharass juu ya kitu hatukukubaliana na kitu ama kitu hamkukubaliana na the organization. Na kutolea nakwambia, unaona nini ilisema Saturday? You signed, which means you misled the organization. Uliwa mislead, wasihaya mtu mwenye atafanya Saturday ndo wakuhae. That is one of the faults to fault now. You misled the organization.
Serious.
It's true. Just even if I come to your na tukae tukicheka and we talk, see I can't walk you out of that one, because what happens if I walk you out? Uko na marafiki, it will set a precedence. Nisipokufanyia kitu cha kutokuja Saturday, ofisi mzima isipokuja Saturday, utafanya nini? And again, let me tell you what is happening. The procedures are applying to someone. I have fired people in HR. In my own unit, the policies are applying to everyone, even myself. In HR, we are firing ourselves for failure to adhere to policies and procedures. That is why I'm telling you, the modern HR, it's very fair. And again, one of the things that inafanya hivyo, the litigation process, the litigation matters. Ukienda kotini ufanye ujinga, like ukifanya ujinga hapa, hiyo kitu iende kotini, your company is fined millions, organization CEO anasema what is HR doing? HR, how did you arrive at this? And you are at risk of even losing your job wewe mwenyewe. So you have to ensure there is fairness, there is precedence. Mtu anaweza enda kotini aseme hapana, mimi nilifutwa juu kutokuja kazi, ule alifutwa, I mean ule bado anafanya kazi huko. You've set precedence. Ina kitu ikienda kotini, my friend, and unajua siku hizi the courts, the labor courts are always on the employees. By the way, any cases zinapelekwa kule, 85%
employers
ni employees. I like employees are winning. Kupata mahali employer ameshinda rare. So actually siku hizi hata ikwangi about the type of offense. Unaweza leo uende job kwa mlevi tu, si hata upige watu
alafu
ufutwe. But kama the process to violate, kama hatukukupea the most the notice, the barua, the everything, kama tuli miss a step tu kwa nini, kwa the process, we will pay you a lot of money. Ama nilikuja nikatoa vurugu alafu mkanigonga, naweza kuja nichape CU, nichape nyinyi tu, alafu nikigongwa naenda hosi na pewa medical certificate na naenda kwa polisi nachukua OB. That is enough. Or rather there is something else called constructive dismissal. Let me explain to you what constructive dismissal is. When a boss wako ama consultant wako amesikia umemchosha, ama amekuomba ukakataa. And kuomba ukakataa, I'm referring to both genders. Both. So unapatanga unapata ukiama upa ama some sort of things inafanyanga boss wako atake anataka kukuondoa alete msemo mwingine. At that moment hata unaweza eka resignation. Sema mimi nimechoka, it's just too much for me. You go to a labor court. Una resign leo. Kesho uko kotini. And they will pay you. It's called constructive dismissal. Say what is happening with nowadays is that most employees don't know their rights. They don't know their rights. You can just resign today and go to court and you will win against your employer. You just don't have to wait until uko mentally drained, unakaa kama unachizi kazini. You just don't have to wait until that extent. You don't. Otherwise kitakuramba. You can just resign and take your employer to court. You will win. It has happened and people have been winning.
Manze.
People have been winning. I'm doing the modern HR. People, employees don't know their rights.
The issue is one. I really like that one has been way informative. I never knew that part about HR. As you have been in the technical part.
Actually, you guys are alafu what happened? You guys don't know your rights in the workplace.
We don't.
You don't know. You guys mnakwanga busy, mna design, mnafanya nini? Not unless you get someone like now to tell you like this how things are supposed to be done.
Yes.
You should be at design conversations.
You guys.
Yes.
Squeeze yakura.
This is how business deals are made.
Exactly. Later, I'll ensure that everything goes okay. But that is what has been happening. People don't know their rights. Leo unaitwa na mbosi wako, you are being harassed, you are being accused of things you've not done, you are being dismissed because of performance and KPIs that you never even signed for. There is nothing. Unajua anaweza kucontract sign kuambia nifanyie na hii.
So let me
not to sign.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
Like a contractor. So I'm contracted somewhere. I'm doing my work professionally based on what the company has requested me to do. But when I'm delivering the work, instead of even giving the company giving the feedback, they're even like abusing me because it's like I'm not doing the stuff they expect me to do. How do you handle that?
One of the things is
yes,
in most organizations nowadays you'll find a department called learning and development.
Yes.
In such a scenario, the organization is mandated to make sure that the way you came into that company 6 months later is just not exactly how you are.
You're right.
There are those courses, there are those certifications, just trying to ensure that you improve your performance, or rather you match the expectations they have.
Pause. Contractors tafadhali, people expect you to come upskilled or upskill yourself. That advice is not for you. Nijitegemeeni. Continue.
The organization it has to ensure venye ulikuja, that is the very reason why they hired you in the first place. You are skilled, right? But sasa ukikuja, the world is evolving on a daily basis. The skills you had yesterday might not be applicable today. Ama the skills you had yesterday leo, kama jana zilikuwa 100, leo zinaweza kuwa 75% because of how the world is evolving.
Oh yeah, yes.
So it's the organization's mandate now to ensure that the skills you have, they are continuing to build on those skills. They have to develop you. Actually, there is no way an employer will fire you bila kukufanya hizo L&D, bila kukulipia your trip ya IT developing blah 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 nini yenye iko cost for 2 weeks. No way. Mtu atakufuta aje na why did they employ you in the first place? They employed you because they knew you have the capability to do what they want. You have the skills that match what the organizations want. Like they hired you in the first place because they knew that role ni yako, unaezana nayo. So mtu hawezi kuja ati ya kutomea ama kwambie don't come to work tomorrow. Because perhaps maybe mambo inabadilika on a daily basis na umeshindwa ku keep up. So you as the organization umesaidia je employee wako a keep up. Kama kuna training Mombasa, me have gone to trainings. Unajua what is happening these labor courts, like, let me give you a very good example. A very good example that you guys might know. Kitambo guys couldn't have work relationships. Ukijulikana wewe na colleague mnadishiana, mnaweza mtaondolewa ama mmoja atoke. What has happened like around 2 months ago? A security company, I won't say the exact name, but what happened, mmoja aliambiwa hivyo, amwezi kuwa mnafanya kazi watu, because those guys walikuwa wamependana ile mapenzi tight, and those guys had stayed for long. I don't know penye the organization walijua they had a kid. Like ilikuwa ile si just flirting and everything. Organization hakuna, even the organization actually that policy sahi at the moment hatuwezi futa mtu because of such a mistake. We used to, but we can't.
Okay, so
the policy bado tuna review, but at the moment hatuwezi futa mtu ama kuambia mtu atoke. What happened, umse alifutwa. He was a manager, akapendana na mtu, mambo ikanoga, ikakuwa ikafika pale peak. So the organization knew, na waka force mtu mmoja atoke. So unaona haujafutwa, unacheki, umekuwa coerced to resign. Unacheki, now that is what I'm calling constructive dismissal. Constructive dismissal, haujafutwa, but employer may create an environment ya kukutupa nje. So employer amekuja kukwambia hapana, hakuna venye mnaweza kwa watu wawili mmewana na mna kulana, kwa hii it's a risk to the organization. Sasa what happened, the guy just as a very few guys could handle the matter, akatoka akacha like the lady endelee job, and these guys the guy took them to court. Kesi imeamuliwa around 2 months ago, juzi tu. So the court ilisema employer hafai kuingilia mapenzi ya watu. They are not at liberty. And the organization were authorized to pay this guy, and they paid a lot of money. So what happened, hiyo inakuonyesha nini? Sahi mimi as a HR practitioner like 3 months ago I could have done the same thing, but hiyo judgment ya court imenionyesha nini? Evans, you can't. Now you can't. Mimi hata mimi nikuwapata hapo, hata mkona mtoto at this moment in time, you can't, because nitakufuta, I'll be exposing the organization. Nitakuwa na expose organization, so itaenda italipa mamilioni huko. And again, one of the things organizations fear losing other than money, it's reputation. Juu reputation ikikuwa damage, my friend, the clients that you have, they go away. Getting new clients ni ngumu. Basically it's just to be the downfall of the company. So you can't do that. So many organizations right now, I can tell you for sure, those that have this modern HR and strategic HR, and they are keeping up with the current trends. Hata uko na relationship huko na haizi kufanyia kitu. Now that is what I'm telling you, employees don't know their rights. Ati amtaki kuonekana nini. Sasa unaweza enda na mkisiane kwa ofisi, you won't get fired. Who will fire you?
Well, okay, so where do you think we should learn this from? Is resources ziko?
It's depend with the HR of your company. Kama sasa hivi nimekuambia, sisi tunakanga kila floor. Guys come to us, they ask us questions, we tell them.
Consultants au ndo HR wao wenyewe jamani. Resources
Sasa fanyeni hivi. Wewe wewe you are lucky you can get to Evans. fans
Sasa mimi ni chill.
wetu
Si wanaweza pata Evans
Watakuwa na
exactly
kwa description.
Yeah,
Sasa au wenyewe kama wataki onch down. Just mean
Evans si ni hivyo ama
Exactly. Available to assist at any particular moment needed.
Ebu tell me sasa, as we wrap up, tumeenda. Just tell us the truth. How easy or hard is it to futa someone?
Can I give you my first experience?
Yeah, sure.
The very first moment I joined HR, and specifically HR, it's not anyone that can fire someone. Jizi mambo za kotini na nini, there's a unit called employee relations, which many companies have now adopted. Those are guys very conversant with the labor laws and everything. They are wound on form policies, nini. Basically they are work. Not anyone can just fire. Not anyone can just do such a letter. So nilijoin kama intern, nikafanya. When I got my first contract as an officer, at that point ndo sasa ungepeana barua. So I can't really recall because it's around 2-3 years ago. The accusation, or rather why we fired that lady. But initially alikuwa on suspension. Akakuja hearing and the process was duly followed. So we invited her to the head office kuja collect barua, like the outcome of the verdict of the matter. So I called her and nikaambiwa first time for everything, enda upeane termination. Enda sasa umfuti officially. So the reception called Evans, say the lady is here, blah blah blah. Nikasema, you know the meeting room I had booked, peleke hapo, I'm coming. I went, printed the letter, nikapelekea mdosi, aka read through, aka sign. So nikachukua folder nikaenda. Kustaajabu ya Musa, niseme hivyo. This lady, when I entered the meeting room, alikuwa ananyonyesha. Na alikuja na mtoto mwingine amemvutia kiti amekaa hapo. So when I entered, I know you know the normal to subfolders. Kenyaka hapa kakona color but the front part is visible, so make barua hapo. So nikaikunja hivi. Nikamsalimia. Kamuza how the journey was kukuja huku and everything. Kamwambia, I just wanted to make sure that umefika so that my colleague can speak to you. I couldn't. How could mara yako utaenda upe mtu aje barua muombe, umepata hata kinyonyesha, umempata hata nikufunika amefunika. Na unaona katoto ukimwangelesha katoto kake kingine kadogo kamekuangalia tu hivi, knowing that you are about to fire their mother, the source of income. I went to my boss, I told him, I just can't. I can't. Were we 3 or 4? So boss akaambia, enda upatie colleague wako. Now there was a lady, hatambuagi. Aliana hapa kanema, umeshula kupeana barua? Akaenda 2 minutes kurudi. Anarudi hata akicheka yeye ashazoea. Wow. Ashazoea. So me I was like asking her, how do you sleep at night? And Evans, I'm giving you mezi ngapi? 3.
3.
Utakuwa unajua venye nalalaje. 3 months later, ni hata Mr. Usko anatambua. So honestly, you just go issue. Some of these things are just so basic. You can't steal from the employer, or you just can't. The police is clear. Ni hii na hii. That is what I was not understanding initially. Such that mtu anajua vizuri kuchukua pesa ya kampuni ama kufanya hivi. These are the consequences. So mimi, I was not concentrating more on the policy. Nilikuwa na concentrate more on what I'm seeing.
So you are more emotional
exactly
than logical.
Now you separate those two things. You separate those two. Now okay, separate the moment. Actually within the first month nilikuwa nishaweza kuseparate logic na emotions unaweka kando. Otherwise you mix emotions, hautaweza kufanya shit. So that is where I'm up to now. Actually I recently around 6 months trained a newbie The reaction reminded me.
We mbona producer.
Reaction yake after kuenda kupeana barua ati hadi anajishika kichwa hivi ili nikumbusha mimi like 20 ilikuwa 2021 ama 2022. Kamwambia unajuaje? Hata yeye nimekupea miezi ngapi? Sasa pia yeye ni hivyo. Pia they separate logic, emotions. That is how it happens. Because that is basically hata in the country, that is why we have law enforcement guys. That is why you have the police. Lazima kuwe na watu wanafanya the hard stuff.
So if you don't deliver,
my friend, kama how deliver chenye mlikubaliana, si ku deliver tu. Najua unaweza deliver chenye mlikubaliana but mtu anataka over deliver, na usipo over deliver chenye mlikubaliana, that's it.
Kama mkubaliana lazima report kazi 8 to 5, lazima report kazi 8 to 5.
Report 8 to 5, but again it depends with your line manager. There accidents do happen, God forbid. Things do happen. Watu kwa wagonjwa. Shit happens.
Kama juzi imagine my bike.
Juzi gani ama ni jana?
Ni jana. Jana my bike broke down.
Now what do you do when your bike breaks down? What do you do?
And now
you have a line manager.
Yes.
You have a client mwenye anaongoja.
Yes.
I think it's polite just to call your manager. This has happened. Panga kazi so that ule client una serve or mwenye you are serving on behalf of the organization, hata kujua kama bike ili break down ama nini. Ni transaction ikihanga manini ashaanza kupiga kelele. Ni wewe just report hadi to pigia mdosi aweze kupanga kazi for business. There's something we call business continuity. At least kama hauyuko kitu haitasimama. Just kwena mtu wajipange.
So meaning communication is very
exactly. Haimaanishi ati kila time one off hatukichelewa. Hata si HR saa nyingine uchelewa. Shit happens on the road and vitu ufanyika. Just communicate. If you're in a position, si lazima communicate. Okay, at times situation kama umekuwa admitted hosi, tunaona hawezi communicate.
Yes.
But if you are in a position
to talk, just talk.
Drop a message ama beep.
But I have a bad habit of no kupanga kuongea, but umeongelea politeness nikaona I will.
It's polite. It's polite. And it shows
like
respect.
It's being rude. I'll just have to do it.
Una drop ka text, if kama utaki kuongea, drop ka text. I'm sure kwa hivi at least anaweza kujipanga, asikuwa amepanga kazi asubuhi then unashangaa huyu jamaa anatongana buta department nyuma like such. Una drop ka message, at least unakuwa na ule client anaendelea tu kusaviwa hata kama ni with a slow pace, but unajua customer anataka kuona kitu inasonga. Hata kama inasonga na slow pace, such that wewe ukifika unachukulia things to as planned. At least
wait. So someone who's listening somewhere anajua mtu anataka kwa HR, maybe atamsukumia hii episode. So I also have a friend who has a cousin but pia ni beshte yangu mwenye alisomea HR but haja manage pia kupata job. So what kind of resources or communities can someone like ukuna hizo links tupe wasi wakae wakijua like si tunajua when you want to be a designer you can join these communities, you can read these books, listen to these YouTube videos. That's what we're talking about. Unaweza manage to send there to
and then also I've come to learn like human resources beyond hiring and firing.
Exactly.
It's about the relationship with everyone in the whole. You can handle that.
So what I can say, it starts all around you. Yes, umesoma HR and everything, but leave alone hata kama haujaenda to that organization, where are you? Where are you in the space that you are in? Najua unaweza kuwa una target yes kufika point B but uko point A. But say your point A, what are you doing? What are you doing even to get recognized? Sometimes hata sangine you don't even need to apply for a job or something. Maybe the place uko, the church you go to, like hiyo kujitolea and everything, someone always identifies you. And again there is God. Unajua hii kujitolea saa ingine some people may fail to notice, but sometimes God brings a way there's a way they bring. So just within just the space you are, just act as a HR. Si lazima ukue in that organization. And again, I'll say just unaona hizi nini voluntary, where you're not even getting paid. I know it's a hard, it's a very bitter pill to swallow, but somewhere you must have to start somewhere.
Yes.
Lazima uanze mahali.
Yeah.
And mostly nowadays when hizo jobs zimekuwa rare, just start out somewhere. Somehow, some way, someone will identify you. And actually it also continues building your resume. Unaonekana at least you volunteered this, blah blah blah. Ukitoa internship ama attachment hailipi, don't decline. Just be humble. Nanga
Chill.
Relax.
Tulia.
Yes,
you're still young in the game. Relax.
Just relax. But ukishaanza kuclimb hizo ladders, mazi unaweza enda na pesi yenye ungeanzia pale uende pole pole, but sahi ukishaanza point 1 ya ladder una shoot.
You go to
and have realistic expectations. Sasa namaliza kampu kama nimeingia job ya 100k by 25 nishashika ndai.
Sikupenda kwetu, come on.
By 27 niko na
expectations.
They should be realistic,
my friend.
They should be realistic.
No, that's the
usijiwekeni. Unaona what happens na kitu inaleta depression actually on young people and mental issues ni very high expectations.
But the difference
I
is
was
one.
there. I have
the
been
difference
there.
is one. The difference is one. It's the dream of him being sold.
Hey,
The dream
for
of
the
being
longest time.
If I go to campus, I get a degree.
I get a job.
I get a job. I get a good paying job that is paying me six figure salary.
What I'll say,
month. You get that's the dream you are sold.
Some of
But
you,
ukimaliza kampo,
Things kwa ground vitu different.
bro.
what I'll say, listen.
Ukimaliza kampo kidogo tu, ukimaliza kampo unajipata leo ni msaboda, kesho kutwa ni msamjengo. Ukitegea ukitegea. But at least unaona hadi time yenye COVID hit. COVID changed everything.
Sure. So many perceptions. So
Yes.
what I'd say, one of the things, having expectations, those expectations should be very, very realistic. And again, some of these things lie on a balance of probability. When you're expecting to have a job, also know that there is an equal chance of not having that job. Some of these things lie on a balance of probability. Ukijua kuna unaweza pata job, jua pia unaweza kosa kupata job. And actually one of the things yenye nimesema, they are actually affecting a lot of young people with escalating to the mental issues is having those unrealistic expectations. Unajiambia nisipoachieve kitu before this time or this set deadline, the deadline that you have set for yourself, unaanza kupata that pressure. Unaanza ku have that mental breakdown.
I hope unasikia.
Just have the expectations realistic.
Engineer.
And know that there is a probability, and actually an equal probability of kama ulikuwa unataka ikuwe white, inaweza kuwa dark. There is a very equal probability. So have those expectations realistic. Know that anything can happen, and on top of it all, just rely on God. Let him guide you. Let him take control and pray. That is what I'd say.
Amazing. I really like that. Nilikuwa karibu kuuliza advice for a professional, but then nimerealize your advice unapeana to HR. I can apply for everyone.
Sure.
So kafungeambia watu. Nimechoka kuambia watu wa follow, like na subscribe.
Guys, I know today has been my first time being present in the podcast. But from the interactions that we've had, I'm pretty sure that you guys can feel it's such a great session, such a great podcast to listen to. So please continue subscribing, please continue sharing, and invite others. I know the session has been very helpful to most of you, and just as a token of appreciation to our host here, just continue sharing. I'm pretty sure if it has touched you, it can also touch someone else. So continue sharing, continue subscribing, and it will be such a great present, or rather a token of appreciation to our hosts, both of our hosts here. So thank you guys, until next time.
Manze
Sema jina yako.
anaitwa Evans.
Wacha aseme.
Hebu sema.
Evans here guys, till next time that I'll be
Come
present
on.
in the...
You are a HR specialist right now. Evans.
Okay. Oh yeah.
By the way, ngoja kwanza. Acha nikupatie picture ya audience yetu. Audience yetu, majority of audience ni freelancers.
Oh, okay.
Contractors, tafadhali.
Kidogo tu.
Wacha wajitoe kwa comfort zone. Mbona
Ngoja, ni sawa, ngoja kwanza. That's the clear picture huku nje.
Okay.
But unaokimit na Evans, anaweza waambia Evans anaweza waambia ufai kuwa freelancer, unafaa kuwa contractor, because by the time you are doing any job, you have to agree between wewe and what you are doing. Mtu anakupatia kazi, exactly, you have to understand this is what I'm supposed to deliver, and this is my policy, and this is everything, like from 0 to 100. If you're going beyond that or below that, it's different.
I'd say
amazing takeaways. Hebu sema jina yako, nataka kuhapa.
exactly.
Mariga Elvis.
Thank you. Umeanza kuongea. Yes.
Guys, Evans here, Njiri. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you. By the way, we'll drop all the links. Jali, wewe sign out.
So James Muchiri hapa. Leo nimebambika, tumepata HR hapa ametupe
Ametupiga whips wewe.
Tumeshukuru kwa HR, lakini kutoka leo nitachange mentality pia, naona HR wetu hakika.
Oh yeah.
From today I change my mentality. At least nimepata kuelewa kumbe HR afai kuwa adui. HR anafaa kwa best yangu. At least for that nimemaliza.
Yes. Thank you. Me by the way janijibu mbona JD zenu ni unrealistic. And with that guys, I've been Chendereta, your amazing host. And this has been Kenyan Design Conversations. Bye.